So today's topic will be on how to maintain your fitness while you're overseas. So basically, when we talk about going overseas, maintaining fitness is always the hardest thing to do because of everyone want to maximize their time when they're overseas. Let's say if they're on a holiday, they want to maximize their time, traveling, going out of the hotel, not spending time in the gym. And for those of you who are actually working, going overseas for work also means that most probably you'll be spending the entire day working. There won't be a lot of time spared to for you to have much leisure time. So whenever for me myself, if I'm going overseas, first thing that I will do is to find out where are the possible pockets of free time where I can get in my workout. That's number one. All right. So I'll look at the schedule, how many days I'm gone, and I'll try to find out these empty pockets of time to fit in my workout potentially. And second thing that you want to consider is also, since you will know that you are going overseas in advance, what you want to do is you want to schedule your training in such a way whereby you are taking more rest days. That means that week, right? Basically, if it is your deload week, pretty much it will be the best because you won't have to focus so much on training. You just need to get in lesser volume, just to recover from the previous mesocycle, and things will be better. So plan in advance. Then after that, the next thing that you want to consider is also scheduling your, on top of deloading, your microcycle. That means your day-to-day workouts. Try to make sure that there are more rest days within that within that time period where you're traveling, and that will be good as well. So all these will actually help to reduce the hassle of you needing to train. You can focus on actually resting. So that is one way that you can actually prevent your workout from being disrupted. With that being said, we still have to work out. So the thing is, what I look for when I'm going overseas, first thing is, other than looking at the time period where I'm traveling, next thing is accommodation. I'll try to look for a hotel with a good gym. So what do I mean by good gym? So I'll look at certain things. So first thing is, I'll look at whether there's a squat rack. And then after that, next thing I'll look at whether if there's a place for you to do pull-up bar. Whether there's a place for you to do pull-ups. So it can be pull-up bars, or it can be a squat rack with a bar which you can set at a certain height in order to do pull-ups. And I'll be looking at whether there is free weights around. So with free weights, with a squat rack, with a pull-up bar, pretty much you can do quite a lot of exercises. You can get in a very good workout. But unfortunately, it's usually a little tough, and most of the gyms are usually disappointing, and they don't have all three. The better ones usually have free weights. Okay, answer some question here. So Ching. So is black olive good for cardio? Okay, with this one I'm not exactly sure. Okay, I'll check back and I'll let you know. I'll reply in the comments below after I find out whether is it good for you. This one, honestly, I'm not sure. The next question is for TRX. Do I use TRX? Okay. Ching, I do use TRX. I've used TRX before. Basically, it's a suspension system, but I don't have a TRX with me. So what I do instead is actually I use gymnastic rings. So pretty much, gymnastic ring is a sort of suspension system. So whatever the TRX, whatever exercises that can be done on the TRX can also be done using a set of rings. With that being said, I'm actually bringing a set of rings. I just bought a new set of rings like 2-3 days ago, and they're actually wooden rings, so I can show you. So these are the two wooden rings. Pretty great. So like, let's say if you're talking about TRX, you do things like your putting your leg through the rings, through the TRX to do push-up with a pike. Same thing, I can do it with my rings as well. Basically, I just have to lower the rings low enough, and then, you know, I can put my feet through it, and then, you know, I can do all the pike work. Same thing. I hope that answers your question. With regards to the olive, black olive, I'll get back to you. I'll reply in the comment section below once I know the answer. All right. Going back to the topic on having what I look out for in a good hotel gym. So other than the squat rack, pull-up bars, free weights, yeah, pretty much all this, I'm actually hopeful that there are kettlebells. Yes, ching ching, like I said. Yes, I do use kettlebells, and I actually love kettlebells. So for kettlebells itself, I usually, it depends on the weight of the kettlebell, and it depends on what I want to achieve out of the exercises that I perform with a kettlebell. So let's say if I'm doing snatches, all right, if I'm doing heavy snatches with like maybe a 24 kg or 32 kg, pretty much this will actually build my power in my posterior chain, which is the back muscles, my glutes, my hamstrings, my lower back. Then there'll be more for power development and strength development. But let's say if I'm doing with a lighter weight, like let's say 16 kg or 12 kg for more reps, like maybe 50 reps, then there'll be more of endurance. By the way, when I'm talking about training for power, most probably the rep range that I use is between 5 to maximum 8. That's the most that I use. So hope that answers your question. Yeah. How do I perform them? Okay, I can actually come out with a video tutorial on it. So basically, I do quite a few kinds of exercises with it. Mainly for kettlebell exercises, there are two broad concepts. So one is actually the ballistic movements, which consists of your swings, your clean and jerks, your snatches. So this one, they are all more for power development and also endurance. So we swing a lot, activate the posterior chain a lot. The other concept that I use is actually so-called a grinding movement. So I do presses, strict presses to train the shoulders. I also do weighted pull-ups with my kettlebell. So you can see, if you see from my Instagram video, all those, I actually hang the kettlebells, you know, on my hips and perform weighted ring pull-ups, weighted dips. Yeah, and also I do weighted pistols with them, goblet squats with them. So all this actually build up strength, and I can, depends on the weight scheme, the weight that I use, and also the rep scheme, I can use it for metabolic conditioning, which means inducing some cardiovascular benefits. Hope that answers the question. But I'll definitely, if you guys are interested, I'll definitely come out with a tutorial showing you guys how to perform certain exercises with the kettlebell. So if you have any specific exercises that you want to see, you can leave them in the comment section below, and I'll take note of it. All right? Hope that answers your question. And now back to the topic again. So continuing on kettlebell. So let's say if they don't have kettlebell, squat racks, pull-up bar, or free weights, usually I'll bring some equipment along with me to work out. So for this coming trip, I'm going to Boracay. So in Boracay, we are staying in a villa, so I'm expecting no gyms at all. So what I do is I'm already prepared. I'm bringing along this. Let me show you. I'm bringing along resistance band. So for resistance band itself, I can do quite a lot of it. So I can use to load my pushing muscles. You can take a look at my Instagram. I actually do resistance bands push-ups with it. So that increases the resistance loading of my push-ups. I can do some core movement, some twisting core movement with the resistance band. So I can work on the abs, you know, in a transverse plane, the rotational plane. And I'm definitely bringing along my rings, for sure. So with the rings, I can do a lot of it. I can do pull-ups, I can do dips, I can do muscle ups, you know, tons of things with it. And of course, using my body weight. So in general, this trip itself, I'll be focusing pretty much mostly on body weight movements, you know, You know, it's just really to maintain the fitness, getting the reps, so that over the 4 days, I'm going there for 4 days, that I won't lose any form of fitness. So these are the two things I'll bring. I'm considering bringing running vest as well, because Boracay, when I searched it up, is actually about a 10 square kilometer size, the island itself. So I might go for a run, you know, just to explore the area. And also, let's say for some of you, if you want to consider, let's say if you're going to a gym, you might also want to consider bringing along a dip belt. So the dip belt is something which I use to perform my weighted pull-ups and my weighted dips. So see if, let's say, if you really want to build strength, you can bring that along. That will definitely be good for maintaining strength. Based on my experience, if I'm there for 4 days without doing much heavy work, I might lose a little bit of strength, but it's gained back rather quickly. But strength usually is I noticed that it's the first to go if you don't practice it enough, because there's this neurological element to strength, like how much are your muscle fibers firing in sync, the rate of firing and things like that. So I wouldn't dabble into that, but basically there's a neurological adaptation to it, and if you're not doing it enough, then that itself will cause some form of loss in strength. Does drinking coffee help to burn body fats? Okay, coffee actually have caffeine. There are studies that have shown that actually you can, you know, you'll boost alertness, you'll boost your metabolism, and well, there are studies that have shown that it's proven. Even green tea itself has been proven to, you know, raise your metabolism, but just by drinking this drink itself won't melt away your body fats. So ultimately, you still need to actually put in the work to exercise. You know, all this will give you an edge, but then it ultimately it cannot be a substitute from exercising. Still have to put in the work. Yes. Hope that answers your question. And yeah. So just now I was talking about dip belt. Alright, so 4 equipment already. I mentioned 4 equipment so far that I will actually bring overseas, or I may bring overseas, depending on my my fitness plan traveling abroad. But let me just give you a recap. So gymnastic rings, definitely I'll bring gymnastic rings or TRX, depending on you. Resistance bands, running vest, depends, and also a dip belt. So these 4 things, you know, I will note it down at one corner in the archive video, so you can just, you know, take note of it if you want to. And not forgetting, last but not least, your extra clothes for working out. Don't, you know, you bring all the equipment, but then you realize you didn't bring extra clothes to work out in. You know, you only brought your office wear, or you only brought your casual attire, you know, then it'll be hard for you to work out in it. So do pack in extra clothes. Your baggage might get a little heavy. I noticed that usually my baggage is heavier than my friends because I bring additional clothes. And also shoes. For your shoes, maybe you want to bring a pair of sports shoes with you, so you know you can actually go for a run or go to the gym. Generally, I work out barefooted when I'm in the gym, but I mean, it's up to the individual. When I want to run, I will usually bring my sports shoes along. So that's how it is. So after you know about all this equipment, you know, just now I was talking about planning your travel workout schedule. All right. So planning a workout schedule based on itinerary. Now I'll move into how to actually plan, you know, your workout in. So let's say you are deloading and such. You still need to know your objective of each session. All right. So you might want to consider whether you want to go for a run or you want to work out in the gym or in the hotel or in your Airbnb. So let's say if you're going for a run, you want to check out the place beforehand. So let's say yes, yeah, for me, I'm going to Boracay, right? I need to roughly know what route I'll take. So usually I'll open up Google Maps, I'll take a look at the place, what are the possible places that I can run, check out whether is it safe to run, this will help you to plan better. So let's say if you know that if you find out that the place is not really conducive for running because the air is bad and that kind of thing, then you look for your treadmill or look for alternatives to actually get in this endurance work. It can be climbing the stairs. So maybe let's say you check out your hotel, how many levels does it have? If it's high enough, probably you can get in a stairs workout to replace a run. It depends. And then, yeah, just now, like I said, if you want to get in your gym work, so what kind of gym work are you looking at? Are you going to get in your metabolic conditioning, or are you going to get in weighted pull-ups, weighted squats, metcon or strength? You choose. And then pack your equipment accordingly. Look at what the gym have, look at what equipment that you have, put them together, plan your training around these equipment they have, because we are working with a limitation. We are not at home, and that is why we need to plan carefully. If not, we go there and then we won't know what to do. For myself, generally, I usually will plan in an endurance work, so I'll try to go for a run, maybe about at least a 10k, 6 to 10k range, just to get in some cardiovascular conditioning, aerobic conditioning. Then next thing is, more likely than not, I'll find that it is hard for me to get in some form of strength session. So usually my strength session, I will try to perform more the week prior to it, and I'll try to get in a last strength session maybe the day before I fly or on the day I fly, depending on what time my flight is. So I just today, because I'm flying tomorrow, just today I got in my weighted pull-ups and my weighted dips workout. Probably tomorrow I might be hitting some weighted pistols, so that it can actually delay my strength atrophy. And then after that, during the trip itself, I'll be doing quite a lot of total body conditioning. I'll be mixing in quite a lot of integrated movements like muscle ups, burpees. If I can get my hands on some dumbbells or some weight, I'll do thrusters, things like that. So it really works the entire body. It saves a lot of time, and that is something that you can consider when you are planning your workout. Mix in a lot of multi joint movements, thrusters, burpees, muscle ups if you can. But if you can't, you can just break it up. Basically, whatever you do, the goal should be to, if you are lacking time, and I'm assuming that you're lacking time, is really to minimize the time in the gym. Keep it to an hour or less, or if you can, or if you're really in a rush, keep it to less than 45 minutes. So yes, that is what I would suggest. And let me answer some question now. Okay. What meals do I eat for pre-workout and after workout for recovery? Okay, Ching. So for this itself, usually, okay, if it's in the morning, I'll prefer to get in nothing for myself. But it depends on person to person. So usually I do my morning workout fasted. I don't take anything before that. I've known of people who aren't able to do so. They'll feel giddy and such. So if that's the case, then it will be advisable for you to wake up maybe earlier and get in something like maybe one banana, 1 or 2 bananas, or maybe 1 or 2 slices of bread, just then after rest for maybe about an hour before you start working out. That will give you some glycogen to kickstart your workout, and you won't feel giddy because of the lack of glycogen in the body, low sugar level, after maybe 8 to 10 hours of fast, depending on how much you sleep. If it is a lunch afternoon workout, I'll usually eat a normal lunch. I don't eat anything special, a normal lunch. Make sure I don't eat too full, so not too much meat, more carbohydrates and vegetables. Then after that, I'll rest about 1 to 2 hours before I work out. Depends on the individual. For me, I can actually work out 1 hour after my meal. So some people they might take 2 hours to digest, because I'm known again of people who after 1 hour or 1.5 hours they still feel the food in their stomach bouncing around. So to each their own. But the tip is really not to eat too much before your workout. And after workout for recovery, wow, this is a lot of things to. I can talk about this for a long time, but pretty much the gist of it is get in. First thing, you need to top up your glycogen level. So immediately after a hard workout, you can get in some form of simple carbs if the workout is too intense. So things like you can eat an apple, a banana, or can get in some isotonic drink, coconut water, it'll be good. If your workout is super intensive and super long, you might want to get in a bit of protein immediately after that also. So one excellent recovery drink, which many studies have shown, is to take in chocolate milk. So, because chocolate milk actually has sugar, simple carbs, and also it also has some form of protein because it's milk, you see. So you can try that out. Don't drink like 1 liter, just drink 1 small packet will do. So that is the immediate nutrition just after you work out. Then after that, you bathe and then you go for a meal. Try to take in nutrition dense food. So other than your carbohydrates and all that, make sure you take in your broccoli. You can take in broccoli, cruciferous vegetables, take in your fruits, take in oranges, take in kiwis, because your immune system is down. So you want to pack all these things back out. Make sure you eat enough protein as well. So get in things like your pork, your chicken, lean chicken, and yeah, so all these can help in recovery. Pretty much, I don't eat anything outside the norm. I'm not really a very huge advocate of taking protein powders and such. So it's not wrong to take protein powder, but I mean it's just me. Like I prefer to take in whole foods, Yeah. So hope this helps you. If you want to find out more about what I eat, you can check out my Instagram story. So what I do is usually I'll post a lot. Most of the time, 95% of the time, I'll post what I eat for the day on my Instagram story, unless I'm very hungry. Sometimes, I do forget, but most of the time I'll post, so you can check it out. I would say I take in quite a bit of rice, broccoli, and also chicken or meat. Hope that answers your question. And thank you. Yes, I really can't wait to go overseas. This is actually my first holiday which I don't have to race. I'm not saying racing is a bad thing, but there is this element of there's a certain pressure on myself, like I place on myself to complete it because it's a personal goal, and I don't have to work. Because the previous few times when I went overseas, we have to put up some form of a race, and that also has a bit of stress. So this one is actually, I'm just going there and just really relax. I don't really have to think. Just enjoy the beach and chill. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much these are some of the tips that I have for planning your workout and how to successfully get in your workout. So let me just recap. Firstly, make sure whatever that you do beforehand, try to get in the harder work the week before, and try to go on the holiday on a deload week. So as to how you actually plan for a lighter week, right? That is another topic for discussion. It's called periodization. So if you're interested, you can actually leave a comment below. If you're interested, let me know, or you can drop me a DM. I can go about discussing how we can actually plan our workout in such a way whereby the week is actually a lighter week, so there won't be so much emphasis on training. And also scheduling as much rest time, as much rest sessions, rest days in your holiday as possible, or in your working trip as possible. And then that itself also reduces the stress on you needing to work out. And lastly, for those days which you have to work out, plan in advance. Know what you want to do. Know whether you want to run, you want to do gym work. If you want to run, make sure you plan out the route beforehand. If you want to do gym work, do note what do they offer in the hotel, what are the equipment offered in the hotel, and then after that, look at what other equipment you need to bring in order to supplement your workout. And hopefully this will actually help you, to get in your workout. And last but not least, of course, find out when are your pockets of free time. If you know your itinerary in advance, it'll be the best. Yeah, so that is pretty much the whole idea of getting in your workout overseas and maintaining your fitness overseas. If you want, I can actually dive into discussing more about how to actually continue. Let's say if you are training up towards a competition and you have no choice but to get in a hard workout during your working trip. Okay, how about we talk about that now? So actually that itself, it will be tough, but from my own experience, I've done it. What you really have to do is you will definitely eat into a bit of your sleeping time if you're working. If you are going on a holiday, pretty much is better, I would say, because your itinerary is more flexible unless you're following a group tour. Yeah. So let's say if you're an endurance athlete, pretty much you will have to, get up earlier, go for your run, go for your swim. If you're swimming, make sure you have a swimming pool. Yeah, put in the necessary work and try to keep it at a, if you really don't have time, you should try to keep your workout at a higher intensity. At least that is how maintain fitness. So it's some form of a hybrid between a taper and also a building up. Try to get in your quality work. Usually quality work there need not be so much volume, and therefore you reduce the amount of time that you actually spend performing your workout. And also, let's say if you are doing more towards strength, I think it's more crucial for you to actually find a suitable gym where you have more weights to carry. If not, then you really have to improvise, like bring your own equipment, or you got to look out for natural elements to work out with. Like when I was in Beijing, I wanted to do some, weighted leg work, and I found some logs outside the hotel for don't know what reason. So I actually use those logs for weighted pistols. Let's say if you are going to, I think pretty much overseas they have quite a lot of things which you can actually lift, but do make sure that they are clean. Like if you're in nature, probably you have things like rocks and things like that to lift. So be creative about it. Like I said, all these things that I've shared with you guys, right? It's only a guideline. Like you just got to let your creativity flow, and use whatever that's around you to work out. Oh yes, another thing I want to talk about. Sorry for jumping here and there. Sometimes my mind, I'm still thinking of what else is there for me to cover. To share with you guys about how I actually train overseas. Is, let's say from Singapore or from anywhere, you're taking a super long flight. Like let's say from here, I actually flew to US before, and it took me 20 hours because you have layover and such. So with layovers, usually it's about close to 24 hours or not moving, which I myself don't really like. So what you want to do is you really might want to plan a workout in between your flight during the long layover. I've done quite a few times already. So I actually worked out at JFK airport before. I was doing suicides on the along the the wide stretches, the long stretches. The good thing about airport is actually they have a lot of free space, very long stretches. So that area you can do things like your suicides, you know, you can do a bit of strides, sprints. You can pretty much get in a very good workout. Just make sure that your luggage is inside, or if you have a friend, make sure that you alternate so that your luggage, nothing will go wrong with luggage. You won't go missing. People won't put things inside. You can use your luggage as weights as well. You can carry it and do lunges. You can do push-ups there. I think I have several Instagram clips on some of the workouts that I've done at airport. So if you scroll through it, you can actually take a look at what are some of the things that I've done. Yeah, pretty much I would like to get in a workout, just to keep the blood flowing, But of course, you need to know how to clean yourself up after that. I mean, if you have access to a lounge, it's always the best. If there's showering facilities, it's the best. But if not, you can pack in, a towel, and then just rinse the towel, wet the towel, rinse it. Then after that, you can just wipe yourself. And for me, it works well. I feel comfortable enough to board the flight and take another maybe 9-10 hours flight. It's good. So this is something that you might want to consider also if you're taking super long flight. I know some of you might be taking 30 plus hours flight because you want to fly to the other side of the world, and then because of cost reasons you got to take a very long layover. So this is something you might want to consider, squeezing in a workout during your long layover. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions regarding maintaining fitness overseas, do let me know now. I know there are only, not a lot of you are watching, but if you have any other questions, can ask me now. If not, I'll be going offline pretty soon. So if there are no questions, I thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it that you actually spend the time, to watch and have a discussion about these topics. If you have any other topics, do let me know. Next week, I'll be planning another training talk to be on Sunday. Yes, I think I can make it. Yes, I can make it on Sunday. So I'll be planning another training talk on Sunday. And this time around, I'll let you guys know earlier. Probably by Wednesday or Thursday. I think that will be a good time for you guys to think about some of the things that you really want to ask me. Sorry about today. It's a little rush, I know. Hope you guys found this useful. And thank you, Ching Ching. I'll be sleeping real soon after I pack some of my stuff. So yes, I'll see you guys next week. And I'll be posting, I might be going on Instagram live in Boracay. So do keep a lookout on Instagram, follow my Instagram story. I'll let you guys know in advance when I can actually go on Instagram live. So if you guys have any more questions, you can ask me then. So yes, I'll see you guys next week on the 7th episode of Training Talk. See you.